Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. See those happy cows eating? I came out here to start feeding animals about a half an hour ago, and all this dark in the sky was right over us. These cottonwood trees were blowing. Zero chance of rain, the weather says, and this is why we haven't been cutting hay. We keep dealing with flooding. So, the cow pen is drying out mostly. There's a little bit of water collected down here. And there's a low spot down here where the creek was really bad running. It's very rocky. And that just stays very wet and very clay and hard packed most of the time. It does dry out and just become hard soil or hard ground. So that's why a lot of this was just like a triangle. This was total about a 5 or 6 acre field when we had first came here. And since that area gets so wet, we thought, turn it into the cow pen. It's great. Here's one of the things that we did. See this clearing here? See how the trees just stop? We cleared 100 feet of the creek this weekend to help with the flooding. Right down in that area is where it was spilling over very fast. So we waited for about 2 days after the flooding started. The rain had stopped and we were going to get more rain. So we spent a whole day out there clearing that. Right at the end of it, we got another thunderstorm. All of these pop-up thunderstorms, they last for a half hour, they last for 2 hours. Just makes it so these areas that are low cannot dry out. So husband went through here. You can see a little bit of it. He trenched it all out. He probably dug 2 feet down and it just fills back in with the muck and the manure. It's terrible. Now had I gone out there and tried to dig a trench, it sucks. You get down into it and it just sucks you in. So you have to lean forward where they're not stepping because of the electrical fence. Then you fall in. So I said it wasn't worth it for me. What he'd like to do is go over the top of the fence with the backhoe and remove all that old bedding and manure and get it down. So as you know, he hauls fuel and it's largely construction and farming fuel right now. The farmers aren't farming, they're trying. There are fields all around us that just aren't planted. We don't rely on the crops for just our income and the farm sustainability. So we have our north field that we are going to be planting to hay and some to sunflowers. And we actually breached the subject of buckwheat the other day because buckwheat is really nice. It's beautiful, the deer love it, and it's really great for the bees. It's good to give the bees a different source of nutrients coming in all the time. So we were really lucky that we had this all planted to rye, but he had noticed that this edge here was very low and we had a huge water problem in the front yard. You saw that at the end of the flooding video that just went up the other day. So now it has been 8 days since it flooded, and that pond up front just got bigger and bigger because it would not stop. So he decided a good thing to do is to remove the topsoil that is making it so soggy and make it such a mess. And he got that back blade that he used to contour the waterway and extend it over in the north field 2 years ago, and he brought it all up here and he took all that wet mud, all that topsoil, and spread it out here on the edge of the field to help fill in this low spot and repair this contour that had started up in here. It just really dropped off from going real deep. But what I'm walking on now is solid packed. This is where I've been bringing in the gravel, and you can see it left all the gravel. That box blade doesn't like to dig in, but it'll take off surface soil. So he went through here. The boys had laid their brick road last July. Maybe it was 2 Julys ago. Little George was just a baby. George is going to be 2 here real soon. And my little Irene granddaughter, she's turning 2 tomorrow. So it's still a little bit mucky, but he got down to the bricks and got most of it out. It's looking much better. Look at that. He just cut right through there. And I know it's hard to tell on film, but areas of this are 2 feet deep. So I came out today to feed the animals and saw that more rain is coming, so I let him know what was going on with that. And I can try to put his clip in here, but he films on a toaster, so his footage isn't very good. And I don't know if on the computer it'll come across better or not. So he hooked up the trash pump and he pumped this right out to the field. Just did a great job. The ditch wasn't flowing still. There's still standing water there. He thought, just spread it all out. It was a great thing to do. That pumped out those maple syrup and sap tanks so fast. It was just a good thing to do. So after he did it, we got more rain, and these areas had been filled in with topsoil. So our neighbor down the road has a gravel pit, and we get all of our sand and gravel from him. He's going to bring us down a couple of loads of topsoil because we've basically not been driving on this. You can see there's some recent tracks here because I had to go around that huge ditch a couple times. And we've had to only rely on the paved driveway for hay sales because it's not worth letting somebody get stuck. They say they've got 4-wheel drive and they don't know how to use it, or it doesn't work, or it's too deep. It's just not worth the effort of dealing with that. So I bring my loads of hay on the Dodge to the driveway and just sell it off of the truck. It's a lot easier to deal with. So I'm going to set up the deer cam because Joe's going to be coming down. We have got 3 days of dry. We're trying to get this as dry as possible. Of course, there's a 40% chance of rain tonight. What was looming over us seems to be moving off. There's a blue sky up there above those clouds, and the sun sure is trying. So hopefully I'll be able to get some footage. Dump truck's going to be coming in here. He's going to bring a bunch of coarse sand, and the coarse sand is what we use in our sandbox. It's real great for little kids to play. The fine sand does not pack well. So we'll get this all packed down for a couple days, and then a load of crushed stone gravel is going to come in here. You don't want to do big round stones. We had a neighbor do that when we lived in the city, and he was literally burying his truck in his driveway every day. And you know what? He had to scrape it all back out and get a new load brought in. Always do fine crushed gravel or coarse crushed gravel, depending on, you know, what layer you're working on, and get it hard packed. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, look here. This dried out a lot today. My goodness. It's like a different place. Just a few hours of hot weather, and today was so hot and so humid, you can actually step down in this. See all that fine work? Those boys with their brick? We had all this piled up. This is the stuff that we had pulled out of the woods last year when we had that picnic and I found that little snake. So you can see he's still mushing all that topsoil. He drives over it and it spills right up on top. So take that box blade and pull it right on out of here. Just great. So I was hoping the guy was going to be able to bring the sand today. So Guy's getting back to spreading his sand out for the driveway. You can still see we got a little bit of a low spot. He's gonna work on it a little more and see if he wants to add some more material. He wants to get it good and packed down, and then gravel and stone are gonna go up on top of it. So my chore for the day is getting this guy pull started. He says, can you pull me to town? Or it'd be nice if you could pull me to town. That's a line from Napoleon Dynamite if you're unfamiliar. So the soil mover doesn't bite deep down, but it will pick up anything that is on the surface or soft and move it out of the way. So it works real good with this. He's got it weighted down with big field stones. And this is an implement from our father-in-law that we used for contouring that land for the waterway before. So you can see it's got the hydraulics. Dad's all set up here with his umbrella. Gonna be nice and warm today, probably about 80. And gonna maybe do some farming work. So the old tractor needs to be pull started, and this is how we get it done. It's got a bad sprag on the starter coil, starter clutch. And of course you can go buy a new starter, but it's that one little, it's like a little tooth, this sprag, and that's all you need. Well, they want you to drop it off and have it rebuilt, so they know that there's parts for it. They don't want to tell you where to find them, and we have had a heck of a time. We've been looking for months. So if you happen to know where to get those, leave a comment down below. Some things just take a little while fiddling around, and you know, spending a day goofing around with that takes away from other jobs, and that's usually the kind of thing that I'll look up and find. So not something John Deere has handy for us. So I'm gonna pull this tight. This one got the pony motor? No pony motor. Okay, John Deere 2-cylinder 730 diesel getting a pull start. Now usually he's yelling at me to stop or go, but conditions are good for this. As long as I pay attention. Is it tight? Go ahead. Do I need to be in 4? Go ahead. Going into that sand. She pulls pretty good when it's warm out. In the wintertime, you gotta pull that for a while. So he had to quit last night. This one got a new clutch here a few months ago, and he's got the flywheel cover off because of taking the starter off. He didn't have any lights because he said that your starter goes to your generator and your lights first. Otherwise he would have been able to get it all completely done. We've been real fortunate. We're officially in the summer now, longer daylight hours. So he got to work on the driveway till close to 10 last night, which means we didn't eat dinner until after 10. She's a nice tractor though. Wide front. I like the wide fronts, especially for out in the woods doing maple syrup. I don't like the high up front tricycles. Looks like I got a project to do. I bought him some material for a new seat cover. Better get to work on that. Get him his new seat built. Well, it is Sunday morning and I am headed off to the grocery stores to get supplies for the week. We make all our own lunches for work. We take food with us to the workhouse. We just try to have everything on hand. And I tell you, it is slow going on a weekday having to run these kids into Myers or to pick up some food items at Menards along with some things. So I'm gonna go see if I can find a vacuum to clean out the car because the shop vac is still down, and get us some supplies. So I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, Daddy Milestones. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, everyone. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. Bye-bye.